Hi guys, today we are going to build a vaccine notifier. For this tutorial we are going to use Java as a programming language and Spring related frameworks like Spring Boot. So I'm going to use Spring Boot for this tutorial. So as a prerequisite for this tutorial, you must be aware of for the Java related technologies. So let's begin. So for this, let's move to spring.start.initializer. So from this, we are going to build a project structure. So for this, I'm going to choose project type as Maven, language is Java, Spring Boot version 2.4.5. We can change the group ID to anything com.vaccine and artifact ID as vaccine API. Name is same, so demo project for vaccine API, and packaging is Java version, let's stick to 8. So for this we need to add a dependency, so we will add only Spring Web. That would suffice our requirement. So after this, we must click on generate control. So this will generate the project structure. So it will create a zip file. You need to unzip that and need to import that into any of the IDs you have. Eclipse, IntelliJ, STS, you can use any of the ID for the same. So for this I'm using Eclipse. So I've already imported this project into my workspace. So after you have imported this, you would see a main class, main method. So in Spring Boot we know that we need not to use any of the servers. Say there are inbuilt server, so Tomcat is inbuilt for the same. So for this, after that you have imported this project, let's keep it here and move to Chrome. So after you move to Chrome, there are certain set of APIs that has been exposed by our government. So for that, what we can do is we can type in as CoWIN API. So after you type in CoWIN API, move to the first link that you got. So that is like API Setu. Pardon me for the slower connection. So after you visit this website, you can see that there are certain set of API that has been exposed by government. So finally they did something good. So as you can see, there is like API admin location states that will give us the list of the states that are there, and districts with the state ID. After that you can use find by pin, find by district, calendar by pin, calendar by district. So I'm going to use one of the APIs for building our demo project. So I'm going to use find by district for the same. So once you click on the find by district, so after that you can see that the input parameters that we required for consuming this API is district ID and the date for which we need to find the details of the vaccine that are there. So to find the list of district ID, we need this API, states API that is there. So as you can see that the states API will give the list of the states along with the state ID. So I put up in Delhi, so I'm going to use the state ID as 9 and will use this in the district API. So when I pass state ID as 9, so it will give me the list of districts that are there. So there are like Central Delhi with district ID 141, East Delhi with 145, New Delhi with 140, and so on and so forth. So now let's back to our ID. Now we are going to build our vaccine resource. So this will be act as our controller for our API. So this would be a REST controller. So here I have built a REST controller for the same, and created a method which is going to accept two arguments, district ID and a date for which I need to find the information about the vaccine, and the method name find by pin. I don't know why I've taken that method name, and right now I'm returning a null for that. Now create a service class for the same, and I'm going to name it as vaccine service. Oh, I have already built that. Now annotate this class with @service and import this. Now create a public method. Fetch vaccine details. This method will also take two arguments, string district ID and string date. So now I have already coded this service class logic here, so because to keep it short, so I'm going to explain what I'm trying to do here. So I made a method fetch by district ID that is taking district ID and date, and I'm using REST template class for consuming another API that is basically exposed by a government, that is like HTTPS URL find by district, that is going to take district ID as an input and date again that we are passing through our API. So if you can see here, I am taking media type as application JSON, and we are now going to use REST template exchange method, and in this exchange method we are passing a URL component builder, that is a service URL, district ID and date, and the HTTP method as get, and the request that we have created, and the fourth parameter is the class, basically string class. So in the headers we are passing application JSON as a media type, and I'm passing the user agent as a key, and the value should be the consumer, basically the information of the consumer. So after this, let's start this API. So we are going to start this as a Java application. So now our application is started on port number, as you can see in the console, it has started in 8081 port number. By default the port number is 8080, but that port was already been used in my system, so I have updated the port in application.properties file. So you can mention port as 8081, server.port as the key, and value as 8081. So now I'm going to paste the URL, and after paste you can basically, I'm using Postman as a client for my API. So after you click on send, I have got this information. So district ID, basically where do I put up? I have used 142, and for the date, that is 13/05/2021. So now I have got the response for the same, like center ID 64957, slots available 9 to 11, age limit is 45. Next center ID 644956, age limit 45, vaccine available Covishield, for the date is 13/05/2021 that I have passed, and slots that are available, also got the information for the same. So these are the list of records that I have got. So we can use this API to integrate into our application and can build a notifier for the same. So that's all that I want to show this to you. So as a tutorial, we have consumed the API that have been exposed by our government. So there we can use, I have used one of them for showing as a demo purpose. We can use all the API that have been exposed by our government and can build a notifier using that.